Welcome to Outstanding Contributors, where you can nominate and discover growth-focused contributors. The whole idea here is for this to be entrepreneurial driven, to promote thought leadership and to help other entrepreneurs. And what I'm going to quickly do is run through just one of the sections. As you can see, there's quite a few sections already: finance, business, events, construction, all the big ones really. But there will be more. There's more coming. But right now, I'm going to run through the finance section for you. Yeah. So as we can see, here are some of the companies listed in this part of the directory. And if we click on one, and we can click on them all. In fact, I'm going to run through these 6 quickly and just give you a taste for what's going on and how it works. This is the Frontier Capital, the first one in that long list. As you can see, there's a video of me talking to Sebastian, and very interesting conversation. He set up Frontier Capital, and what's really interesting is he explained his background and his story as to why he's here, how he helps entrepreneurs. And it's really through being an entrepreneur himself. Yes, he's in the M&A financial advisory business. He helps raise finance and launch companies on the stock market. But his actual experience is he ran a farm and had to run it profitably and had moving targets called livestock. And it makes for interesting listening. What I would say is what's really important, what comes out to me here, and this is my experience when talking to people, when it comes to raising finance, I would rather work with, dare I say it, smart people who have actually had business experience. There's plenty of people in lots of industries that serve entrepreneurs and business owners that haven't necessarily themselves run a business. I mean, like I've spent 40 years running as a serial entrepreneur, running a series of businesses. And there are certain skills, certain things that you become aware of that you wouldn't otherwise become aware of, take responsibility for. And actually being responsible for cash flow, money, looking after customers, suppliers, etc., managing, spinning all the plates is actually quite difficult. It's not so straightforward. So it means that the questions and the answers are nuanced. Let's have a quick look at the Frontier Capital website. And here we are. Their pitch is, hey, join us for coffee, right? We're the next generation of investment bankers without the attitude, rethinking your future. Too right. Absolutely. Okay, and on with the next. We're going to do a whistle-stop tour here. So the Inside Investor Club with Graham Rowan. As you can see here, I'm interviewing him again, or another interview, I should say. And again, he reveals some truths. It's amplified through his white paper, which he's shared with us, so it's offered through this website. And he explains how there's a whole kind of class of investment that most people never get to see because they are kind of reserved just for the, significant wealth managers, wealth funds. And really what Rowan was pointing out was that there's quite a lot of private individuals that would qualify to invest in those programs, those funds, and you can do so directly, or obviously you can pay extra and go through an advisor, or if your funds are managed, go through a management fund system. You have that choice though. And some of us like to manage our portfolio more personally, more directly, with a hands-on approach. And that's where Rowan kicks in and is able to help only really to those that qualify, only to high net worth individuals. And we'll see on his site, which is coming up next. Yeah. So this is Graham's website, Inside Investor Club. And there's Graham again. Join the Inside Investors, exclusive access to private equity opportunities. And yeah, Graham was the founder, and I've known him for some time. And it's always good to touch base with him, and on this occasion to chat with him about what's going on and why he does what he does. So let's move on to the next one. So this is Lockton Companies, LLP. This is a company that's been around for a very, very long time and are the world's largest independent insurance brokers. But what's really interesting, and the reason they're listed here, is because they are backed by entrepreneurial expertise. And although they're in effect in my backyard here in London, they're also in Spain, Sweden, the US, Switzerland, Canada. And I bumped into these guys through a connection in the US, but they've been here all along. And I just hadn't connected the dots. But here they are. Great company, backed by entrepreneurial expertise. So let's have a look at their websites. And it's a very interesting website, lots of stats and interesting pictures. I think that's Chicago from around the world, news and urge to subscribe, etc. And yeah, I mean, it's what you would call a high quality website. Okay, so here's another one. This might seem a bit odd. What am I doing? Including a non-profit. Surely this is for business. This is for entrepreneurs. But guess what? It's my experience that there's plenty of entrepreneurs who actually choose to donate to charity and to fundraise and to support causes. And, you know, we can do this on our own if we want. But if we're supporting a cause, maybe we should do something that is more in support of a movement, and is a little bit more than simply providing cash. So with Fundraise, we can work with them and they will tend to generate more cash or help raise more cash because they've got these systems in place so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But not only that, they've got cutting edge tools. They've got some of the latest technologies for integration within your systems and within other people's systems. And because of all of this integration, they tend to raise, I mean, they talk about double online giving. And so I think very worthy. So for that alone. So let's have a look at their website. Here it is, smashing website, fundraise up, the new standard for online giving. I think it's probably true what they're saying. I've looked a little bit at the technology behind this, and it certainly is some of the latest stuff. We've got all these trust marks, you've got great imagery. You can definitely explore the features, and you can see that, you know, create campaign pages and add your checkout, AI languages, payment methods. They're really covering the bases here on a global basis, and covering things like security and fraud protection, compliance. So this is the kind of thing you really want to work with to protect your business as well as fundraise. So I think this is a really laudable business. This next one, STS Capital Partners. And what I like them is this extraordinary exit strategy. Their focus is on what happens at the end of the process of raising money. It's not just about raising money at the beginning, because there's plenty of people who raise money and it's really difficult to raise money. So even those that do raise money, you know, well done to them, because they're few and far between. You know, they really put in some effort, but you can go to a lot of effort to raise money, to kickstart your business or to grow your business. It's very tough to do, but if you're not careful, it can be done in the wrong way and not necessarily match where you want to go to. STS Capital, on the other hand, are very clear about the ultimate objective, the ultimate aim. And by working backwards from that, I think they're in a much stronger position to direct a business in the right direction. I think that's a very helpful approach and a really good method of ensuring that you're getting smart money invested in your business and that you're taking a smart approach to your future. This is their website. Yeah, so it's quite good looking. It's a nice, solid website. Another really good, strong pitch of a company. And yeah, it's good stats, good amount of information. They're certainly not hiding behind a laurel. Yeah, and I think that's quite clear that this is a solid business. But obviously, you'll take your own guidance. And this last one, we all like to save a bit in tax or reduce our costs if we can. And we have a business here, Boast.ai, all about saving tax. Who doesn't want to do that? So it's not about avoiding or evading. It's about saving tax. It's about spending when you're spending, making sure that you're also claiming. This is a very AI-based systematic approach, more than a standard or ordinary accountant can help you with. This is more day-to-day workflow, running the business, getting efficiencies. I really love this idea, the way it's put together and what they're offering. Again, trust marks running along the bottom, very clear, very bold, no stress, save time. Time and money are the two things really important. Just making sure that you're claiming for everything, and the plan for doing this is built into the process. So it's not, as they say, no stress during the audit, not done on the last day. So that's a jolly good idea. And the way I look at these things, and the way I found that these type of things work for me in my business, is these don't turn out to be an expense, because I've ended up saving more than I have spent. So we love that. And in any case, any costs associated would be claimable against tax. So why hand it over to the tax man when actually you can run a better business? You may even end up making more profits as a result and paying more tax. I love paying tax on profits. I just really want to make the profits first. So I don't really have an issue about paying tax or paying tax on profit. But I do have an issue about making sure I claim everything I can, which is, especially if it's a legitimate business expense. And I think that here's a system that can really help ensure that you are claiming and getting everything that you expect. Okay. Thanks for joining me. That was it. I wanted to give you this flavor of outstanding contributors, especially looking at the finance section as it is at the moment. And to remind you that, yeah, you can nominate as well as discover growth-focused contributors. And if you're wondering how to nominate, then you use the Add Your Site button, but it doesn't have to be your site. And you'll see it's super easy. Look, you just pop in the URL, bang, sign me up, and you're done. That's it. Outstanding contributors will look after the rest. It's as simple as that. That's how to get started. I have got a bit more here, a bit of training, a bit of free training, become the undisputed authority in just 5 days. And this is an email training program that's sent to you via email. And you have to hit the consent button and fill in your email and subscribe. And that's it. I'll do the rest. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time.